What's up, everybody? Welcome to Captain of Industry. Yes, I know. You thought you got rid of me, but you didn't. I am back, and we're in something new. Uh, let's take a look at this game. I've watched some people play it. I've played a little bit myself. It is so much fun. There's so much just going on, and it's like it mashes two really good genres together. Obviously, automation games, right? Where you go from doing things yourself to having other machines do them, and then you know, instead you have to carry goods back and forth. Eventually, get uh, conveyor belts, things like that, to move your goods back and forth. And you know, the goal of the game is basically to just not do anything, right? To just watch your factory do whatever it's going to do, and it combines that genre with strategy games because you have resource management, you have population management, you have some, light combat, kind of cool. As the name implies, captain of industry, you captain a boat. I guess this, setting is important, right? You're captain of a ship that is survived somehow the apocalypse. I'm not sure if they mentioned what the apocalypse was, but it has survived a apocalypse and apocalypse. Pardon me, grammar fiends. Um, so you're literally captain of a ship in this game. It's kind of cool. There's different maps to play on as well, and this Dragon Tail Isle is one that was made specifically for this newest update 3, and I think we're gonna play on that one. There's different starts. It goes from easy to insane, depending on which start you want. And we'll start on easy because, while I do have experience in a lot of different factory games and strategy games, I have very limited experience on this game in particular. So, we're just going to take it easy and learn as we go. But if you like factory games, automation games, if you like strategy games, this game it's going to be where you lose a lot of hours. So let's get started losing hours right now. And we're just going to go on the regular difficulty. I don't know what any of it means. Whatever, I don't care. Let's figure it out as we go. One thing I do like is that there's all these different, added things that you can, use to customize your game. And some of it's like, if you, sorry, hang on. When you deconstruct stuff in a regular game, you don't get every one of your resources back, but, if you include an option, then it will do that for you, which I think is very nice. There's some that make them easier, there's some that make them harder, right? People can die from starvation instead of you just getting unhappy. Machines in breakdown and stuff like that. Right in the regular game when they break down, they just go slower. But with this option, they just stop working, which is insane. So I don't even know how I'd be able to do that at this point. I'm not that skilled yet, so we won't add that. But I like this. This comes on default, obviously, but I like this a lot. Where because a big part of this game that's probably one of my favorite parts is that you terraform in this game. Like you can literally tear down mountains and dig holes. You have big giant excavators, but when you do that, there's like, so say you'll dig up iron ore, but it's in a mountain, right? So part of that iron ore, there's also rock incorporated with that, or sometimes dirt and other things. And instead of just being able to, drop those separate ingredients or separate minerals off resources at their own specific, storage places, you got to drop them off in a sorting facility that then sorts them out for you. So it's just one more step, but in a way it's better because it gives you a centralized drop-off location for your guys. Because essentially you're playing with these little trucks, if you can see down here. It's kind of cool. We'll see when we get in the game. Give me 1 second. Yep. All right. Okay. So let's keep it going. Secluded Ben. Let's name our game YouTube. Game. How creative. Yes. Not as creative as this game seed here. If you want to play along, Dragon Isles, this is our game seed. Let's hit it. So this game is in early access. I'm going to start my 30-minute timer. Just give us a little bit of an intro there because this is the first in a series, and I didn't want to start out. 30 minutes is not a long. Let me speak English for you all. 30 minutes is not enough time. It's a long time, but it's not enough time for a game like this, for an episode. But, I'm going to try and break it down so that we don't get overwhelmed. Excuse me. Alright, sorry about that. Here we go. So, one thing you'll notice about this game, there's a lot of tutorials. Okay, this basically tells you. I'm going to pause the game just so we can look at some stuff. So there's a lot of tutorials that will get you through the game, through the beginning of the game. Not necessarily all of it, because it does end, but it's going to get you a long ways towards making yourself sustainable. And if you just follow it in a timely manner, you will not run out of anything before you start creating it yourself, because within your shipyard here, you have resources, and don't delete any of them, but all of these are going to be extremely important for us and for you. Here's your ship. Don't really have anybody yet, anything to do yet, so we're just going to sit here. It says not enough crew, we can load crew, we don't need to do that yet. Just spared you a burp, apologies. So let's get started. Let's take a look at our map, right? Because even though the map looks exactly the same, the resources are always in the same exact spots, the levels of them are different every time. So let's take a look at that. So we got some sand. This is red one is iron. Got oil. If you look closely on the top, you can see here, it shows you its icon, crude oil, right? Here's limestone. Pretty big patch of that. And let's look at limestone because it's a good example of what I was talking about earlier. Did I start my timer? I sure did. Okay, so this is when you dig into this mountain here, because you will literally be digging into this mountain, eventually get to the point where there's limestone and a ton of rock. So all of this gray part of the pillar is all rock that's also incorporated into this deposit. And so you need a facility that can handle that. And I love the idea that you got to break it down. It's not just so cut and dry. I love that. This is copper right here, and this is coal. So and water. So yeah, we have plenty of resources. See, they're all over the map. So it's just stuff to get to, and but we're not there yet. We're just in the very beginning. And in the very beginning, we have a group of trucks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trucks and a tree harvester. So if we look here at this goal for iron production, the first thing it says to do is build a coal maker, connect to a smokestack, which will do that. Assign trucks to tree harvester. So we'll do that. So how do you do that? You select your tree harvester. I'm not going to assume that you know anything about this game, but I'm not going to assume that you know a lot. I'm not going to assume that you know nothing, but I'm not going to assume you know a lot. So I'm going to try and make sure that everybody feels comfortable in this series. So we're going to assign our trucks, and then we're going to start harvesting trees. So how do we do that? We're going to go into Forestry tab. We're going to select Tree Harvesting Designation. Now, we have some space to grow right here, but it is not going to be enough. One of the things we're going to need to do right away, because again, we have limited resources here. This is all the diesel fuel we have, and eventually we're going to get research. But we need to make some clearing here, and it's also going to be nice because we'll be able to make space for our city. Yes, we have to build our city out. That's right, and we will. But we got to make space for that. So let's unpause, and we'll see our forester robot truck, tree harvester, and 2 little trucks go out and start getting some stuff for us. Let's take a look at this first one get built because I think it's really neat. It's like one of the best parts of the whole game is just watching your little trucks go and do their job. And in case you didn't know, you can push F11 and it lets you zoom way in, and you can really see the size difference, right, between this tree harvester and these little pickup trucks right here. But they will load, and we don't have any storage or anything yet. We don't have any use for this, but just so you can get an idea of what this game is going to be like it truly is magnificent, and kudos to Maffy Games, because they're crazy good with it. I'm super excited because again, this game's in early access. It's only had 3 updates, and this is it. Also, in case y'all didn't know, there are some absolute bangers in this game. So listen to the music because it just goes harder than it ought to, harder than it needs to. Um, so let's start by building some stuff, and we'll do what it tells us to do. We'll get the coal maker, which, if I'm not mistaken, is in. Not there. I don't know where it is. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Okay, we'll find it. We'll find it. We'll find it. We'll find it. Aha! It was in forestry all along. We'll grab our coal makers, and we'll start making coal. So one thing that we really want to do is, because these trucks need to actually drive everywhere, is we need to leave some space for ourselves. And we're going to be building our town up here, so we don't want to use too much of that area. Down here, I think I have a good idea of what I want to do for now. So that leaves this like central area. And let's do this here. So we're going to take one, and if you hold down shift, you can see it highlights in the tab above where you got all these other. Oops, nope, I sticky keyed myself. So hold down shift and it lets you create multiple copies. So it says build coal maker and connect it to smokestack. So we'll do that. This one's under waste management, I know for a fact. You can rotate buildings with R key. And let's just connect it to the steam output. Not steam output, but you know, the output there for the exhaust. And so not only does this create a product, it creates a byproduct. And already from the beginning of this game, it's complicated in that you need to deal with byproducts. So if you don't have any sort of, factory management or automation game experience, this game could be daunting. But it's truly a marvel. And honestly, I'm so excited because they just added trains and stuff. And it could really become, a major focal point of the genre going forward, and the way that they make these games in the future. So I'm just so excited to see where they go with it. So let's do this. It also says to make a blast furnace, but we're gonna make 2, and I'll explain why in a bit, but not right now. It's for now. It's a secret and a surprise. So these also need to be connected to smokestacks. Yes, and then we'll need to produce iron. How are we going to do that? Because we also need to build metal casters. Now let's take a look at a metal caster, or at a blast furnace. With 24 iron scrap, which this building here is our sort of, MacGuffin to get started. It has a lot of iron scrap and concrete slabs that we need to produce one of the probably the most important item in the whole game. And we're going to harvest it from here. But I feel like this is some kind of like, Chernobyl-esque Pripyat style ruins, and just really adds to the atmosphere. Freaking love this game already. But anyway, we take 24 of the scrap to create 24 molten iron, and with that molten iron, we can use 12 of it to turn into 12 iron blocks. So let's do that, and we have 2 of those. So that means in total we are making 48 molten iron per minute, and if we have 12 used in each of these, that means that we can make 4, and we will do that. And fortunately, we come equipped already with these molten channels that allow us to connect, immediately to my brain is only functioning one thing at a time. So the molten channels allow us to channel the molten iron that we create into our essentially smelteries right here, the metal casters, and turn the molten iron into usable form of iron. And then from there, the world is our oyster, as they say. So right down here, the next thing we'll start is our food production. And we have a nice spot, open space down here. I hope it's all flat. Yeah, it's all flat. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. And if you hold down Shift and push C, you can copy an item, something. And we're gonna put 2 farms right there. Perfect. All right, we've already produced 8 iron, which is amazing. And once we get started here, I know that the tutorial says to build 1. Hold on one second. But, you know, in a game like this, you're operating on the economics of scale, and it's better to scale yourself, you know, from the start. Give yourself a better chance of success. And now there's a pitfall in there as well, and I want to address that. The pitfall is you could very easily outscale your production very easily. So don't, you know, once it gets to a point where you feel comfortable, then that's when you really got to start paying attention and worry, because that's when you're, you know, your guard gets let down essentially. So let's not allow that to happen, and we will, you know, do our best to maintain some form of balance, because I think that's really important in a game like this. So let's claim our reward, and so we completed our goals, all 6 production goals for iron. We're gonna get 50 diesel, 50 construction parts, and 30 vehicle parts, because yes, you do need so much stuff in this game to create everything you need. Next thing we're gonna need is power. So we're gonna need to build a research lab. Let's get on that right now. Buildings, I think, yeah, research lab. We'll put that close to our dock. This basic one is not long for this world, but eventually we'll get there. Not right now. We got so much time. I mean, like I said, it's already been 12 minutes, and I mean, we've done quite a bit, right? We've set up our smeltery, and I'm gonna take my screenshot here. Oops, I just F something up. Nope, it ain't working. Oh well. Whoa, I guess we do have power. Oh, perfect, okay. So yeah, we'll need power, so this building needs power. It's a perfect way to do this, so that we can show off how to do things the wrong way, which is often an important step in learning how to do things the right way. So don't ever be afraid of making mistakes, everybody. I deal a lot with you know, people that are new to business and things like that, and oftentimes people are scared of making mistakes because they want to feel or you know, give this image off that they know what they're talking about, right? That they know what they're doing. But everybody starts somewhere, right? And you got to remember that if you're hired somewhere to do a job, you know, that doesn't necessarily require a ton of experience, then you aren't expected to have that experience, right? If you do, then, you know, that they're fortunate to have you. But don't ever feel bad about, oh, we already got potatoes. Don't ever feel bad about not knowing something, and don't feel bad about asking questions and learning, because, you know, learning is an important part of life. Every day is a school day, you know. So even when you're not in school, you're still learning something every day. So we got potatoes for making potatoes. You love to see it. We got more construction parts. Let's go. Okay, so we got it. Let's start our research, and by research I mean look at the size of this research tree. It is impressive. And again, this is only update 3, everybody. This is update 3. And I say everybody as, you know, I know there's 5 of you guys. I know when I stopped recording, when I didn't have, you know, stopped having time to record as often as I like, I had 8 subscribers. Thank you very much, all 8 of you. I love you. very much, and I hope you enjoy this series as much as you enjoy Microtopia. I'll get back to that, but right now we're on this Captain of Industry, and it is equally as amazing as Microtopia, even though Microtopia is so niche and so unique that it's really hard to, you know, describe any other way. This game has its own flavor and feel the same way. So this tech tree is starting with construction, and we're going to do that. And construction allows us to do our first thing, which is assemble stuff. And it's going to go quick. And we're going to need some of all of these, right? Because we're going to need construction parts, we're going to need mechanical parts, we're going to need electronics. Particular for this feature called maintenance, which, let's look here, as we are very fortunate. These, every machine, every vehicle in this game requires upkeep, okay? And this one has, fortunately, 280% of its maximum. So that lets us get to the point of constructing and, making our maintenance happen. And that's what we want to do. And one of the most important things we need to do is get this maintenance on track. And this is what I mean when I say you can easily outpace your production, because one of the death spirals in this game is not producing enough maintenance. So let's make sure that we don't overproduce buildings and don't overproduce vehicles, because it's so easy to just be like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that, and then before you know it, you got to upkeep all of that stuff, and it really gets out of hand fast. So let's try not to do that. And another thing that we got to get out of there is a waste collection. So let's take that, and we'll do that immediately. It says here, waste collection, and we're going to need to find a place to dump this stuff. That's another feature of this game, terraforming, like I said. And we're going to find a way to dump this stuff. And we're just going to dump, We're just going to dump. I don't want to go that far. Let's go like this. We're going to make a big old dump over here. Eventually we're going to be able to fix it. It's not a big deal. Sorry for a little janky wobble wobble. But you know what I'm saying. Alright, so, already we're progressing very quickly. And one of the things we also want to do is be able to keep our cargo hold empty on our docks. And this priority system is so deep. I mean, look at it. It goes from 1 to 15. 1 to 15. That is an insane amount of heuristics, right? That we can designate whatever to whatever. So even to the point of I like to only go as high as 4 and leave these priorities for emergencies, right? One of the emergencies, though, is this shipyard. Because, excuse me, like I said in the beginning, you have a ship and you have a map and you can go and you can explore. And some of these exploration locations they are not friendly. And, you'll need to fight your way through. So, it's like so deep, right? The game is so deep, but you need to keep this cargo hold empty, otherwise your ship won't be able to dock, or won't be able to release its cargo, and then you won't be able to carry enough stuff. So, but yeah, it is just such an engaging and grossly deep game. It's incredible. I don't even know. I don't have the words. But another feature you can do is you can use this. They have something called Unity, which is very important, and you basically use your Unity to do special things. Eventually, we get edicts to control our population-wise stuff. It's so crazy. Let me see something here. Yeah, okay, I left myself space. So we collected our waste, we got concrete, and we got more construction parts. Perfect. So now we're able to build an assembly. So let's do that. Let's start working on our assembly line, right? And for the most part, all we need is iron at this stage. So we're gonna do 4 of these, and here we are gonna make construction parts, because they're that important. Yeah. And I don't remember how to copy settings. I don't know if I can do it yet, or if we have to unlock that tool. But eventually, you can just copy settings. I don't know what it is. Is it Control C? No. Okay. And that's, another reason why we need to make this area our first sort of, let's get all this area clear. Because we're going to be, we're going to need space. And you cannot build where there are trees. You have to literally get rid of them. So it's so good. It's super important. But one of these things we can use Unity for is to remove these objects on the ground that we don't like. But it costs Unity, and you can see in the bottom right corner of the dragged area, remove debris. This will cost us 3, and then boom, gone. Perfect, easy. Get rid of, if you want to get rid of that little bush. Okay, so we've got our maintenance going, and I think, let's see, I'm just trying to see how, I'm trying to, in my mind's eye, lay all this stuff out, because there is truly a lot that we need. And I mean, eventually we can move it all, right? Yeah, but I would love to just be able to keep it all in C2. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. So, one of the next, okay, yeah, maybe we can start out here. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Okay. So we're going to do 2 of these as well. And this is going to get set to making machine parts. Always do that. Machine parts. Then we're going to make another one here. And again, we want to leave space for our trucks to drive through. I just don't know about this gap, huh? Let's take this and we'll go here, here. We'll delete that. Take this one and we'll move it here. We'll delete this. Nope, too late. Yeah, let's build that. Okay, good. Alright, now let's take this heuristics here, and we'll set this to really high, because this cannot go out. Without construction parts, we're lost. This will be electronics here, and we've already built our construction parts, which is perfect. Now with that, we are going to want to build our maintenance depot, and we're going to do that here, because the maintenance depot requires machine parts and electronics. So we're going to want to eventually, when we get belts and things like that, put them in there. Okay, so we researched Trading Dock, which allowed us to unlock our storage tab. Exactly what we want. And I think we're going to do something like this. I'll make this for iron. Not enough workers already. Fantastic. You see how quickly it can go. Let's get this beacon. Yeah, we should have been on our research. So we'll research the beacon, which allows us to call in refugees to come and live with us. We'll get some vehicles, which is critical. The tools will go quickly, so we'll get that. Then we're going to want to work on basic diesel. Again, you want to be able to create your own diesel before you run out, and we only have that limited supply, about 400. We'll get some from completing our goals and things like that, but it's really important for us to focus on making our own. Then we want to do concrete, and then afterwards copper, and then rubber, and then we'll repair the ship dock, and then we can start doing all this stuff. Actually, I'm going to lie to you. This has got to get going. This has got to get going. This has got to get going. And we are going to... I think we have enough time, because one of the things that I really want to do is create my own new space. and then we'll get going back on this. And I don't know how many we can have in one go, but that's what we're going to do. And then we'll do here and here. And if we can get this one, okay, perfect. So this is going to be our research queue. We're going to start with our beacon, get some vehicles, then we're going to get some extra tools that we can use, which is essentially, you know, copy, paste, cut, all this stuff, upgrading from the menus. So handy. Then we'll get our captain's office, which gives us edicts to, you know, reduce maintenance, fuel savers, and things like that. If we have a lot of food, which I think we will, then we should be able to, you know, use this edict to give us more unity, which again allows us to perform more actions and things like that, specialty actions. Then we'll get our terrain leveling, and we'll be able to just go crazy, creating our own land and stuff like that. And then from there, I'm lost in the sauce. So yeah, basic diesel, create our own diesel fuel, then concrete, then from there, you know, we'll be on to new stuff. But those are the most critical ones, and it's okay that we don't have enough guys to work this. What we can do is we can pause, and we can pause, and then we'll have enough, and we can pause, and we should have, oh, we need 6. Let's not pause that then. Okay, we have a lot of this, so we'll pause this. There we go. Oh, we only have 8. I lied. Oh, we're about to get some more. Okay, there we go. Alright, we're good. So let's hold off until we get our beacon and built. Beacon and build it, I guess I should say. And then we'll start, excuse me. We'll start recruiting more people, and we'll go from there. So yeah, like I said, it's very easy to outpace your ability to do things. So build at scale, but also take your time, right? Because it's highly important that you don't run out of your goods. And again, there's people management. So people is a good, right? It's a resource. But yeah, isn't this game amazing? It's just beautiful. Right now, our farms, we got our beacon. Right now, our farms are reliant on the rain. Eventually, we'll be able to irrigate. It's just, you know, it's truly special. Okay. Let's put this here. And we will grab another. One thing to note is that if you can grab the buildings by copying them. If you do copy them, it will come with all the settings attached. So this will already have iron, and however you have your, you know, trucks, logistics, that will also follow suit. So just remember that when you're copy pasting. Yeah, so we need to build a beacon. We need to build another housing. This needs 1. Let's pause. Sorry. It's super much more important. So in 3 months, so by May, we're already on year 3. So this is our time telling mechanism. We're already on year 3. So looks like we got about a minute left on this episode. Everybody, thanks for watching. It's been, I think, a pretty good introduction to this game. Very fun, very fulfilling. Probably be immediately back with the next episode, and we're gonna end this one as soon as these 14 refugees come, and we're able to unpause all of our buildings. That's gonna be a good feeling. And then from there, I feel like we have a steady foundation, and we'll be able to build upon that. Look at this little factory already, right? It's truly magical. Just love this game. There's not even a single belt in sight, you know? I love watching these guys work. Wait until we get excavators and stuff like that. Just digging out these mountains. There's some clipping issues, right? But I forgive them. I forgive them. There's a lot of stuff in this game. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, it looks like a real life log jammer. That was the timer, but we're going to wait just a second. It's already March. Almost April, so about a month left. And we made it through quite a few goals, you know? Got some research done. No workers, thank you. We got it like warnings, messages, research, and then your goals. Those are your tabs up here. I mean, even these, watching the potatoes grow is fascinating. I mean, you can watch them grow before your eyes, you know? And as you can see, we were literally deconstructing this, so over time it will disappear. Alright, looks like we're about ready to get our 14 refugees. Got them. Working. 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 Beautiful. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. I'm super excited for this series. I literally cannot wait. Take care. See you soon.